Well, it's officially 2026 now. January 3rd. Whoop, slippery. And, is it just me, or does self-improvement content just not hit the same way it did 5 or 6 years ago? During the times of lockdown and, just a pandemic in general, I feel like even when we were in such a dark time, there was something almost, I wouldn't say hopeful, but despite it being such a dire time with the world feeling like it was shutting down, there was a movement of self-improvement YouTubers that just kind of appeared out of nowhere. For some of you might have, been well familiar with this. People like Von Tuca, Rose Up, Jordan Green, and, of course, the legend himself, IceColdJT. And, since then, almost all those guys have just kind of disappeared within the last few years. And I don't know what happened. Von Tuca decided to pursue more of a rap career of his own, which, cheers to him. And then Jordan Green, he's still posting, but it's not really self-improvement anymore. It's just cynical critiques, I feel like, of the modern world, which is what a lot of people are doing now. And then, of course, IceColdJT just kind of disappeared off the grid a couple years ago. And it doesn't even feel like a couple years ago, but it just, one day, he's gone. What? And I think that the thing is that all these guys, they set out there to help people grow, and over time, they did one of two things. Either they moved on to something outside of YouTube, or they were destined to become some kind of a shill, or, find some way to become financially incentivized. And, more power to them, I guess in some ways, because, let's face it, we all need to eat. And more power to them, but still, the movement has changed. And I don't really even know when exactly the pivot came. We kind of were heading this way for a long time, but the world of self-improvement now, it feels so much more shallow and cynical. Have you seen the looks maxing movement? Guys in their early 20s at most, or younger, just blasting gear and Accutane and peptides and just insane, things all to self-improve. And it's when did we go from trying to naturally improve yourself to whatever this is? When did we go from, drinking water and cold showers to, let's get limb lengthening surgery, and rather than eat healthy, let's just take alternatives so you can eat unhealthy? Oh, slick! For me, that's the craziest thing. I don't know when this pivot came, but the one thing I have seen is that just the self-improvement movement is so toxic now. I don't even know exactly when this shift came. It probably existed technically before any of this actually happened, but it's gotten so much worse over the last few years. And I don't even know when this pivot came, but within the last few years especially, I feel like the world has gotten just so dark and bleak, man. There's no tomorrow, there's no future for us, and it's some days I feel like you're grasping just to try and find anything positive in the world now. And also, on that note, I miss a time when things were more positive. I miss an era when, I don't miss lockdown. Life sucked then. But something happened. My hands are getting cold. It's cold out here. But just think about it for a minute. When did this change come? And, and speaking on IceColdJT, and other self-improvement people that have disappeared over the last few years, I miss that. I miss a time when people were more positive, when, yes, the world is bleak, but we'll try our best to be, a light in a world of darkness. And these self-improvement guys, IceColdJT and the others, part of the reason that they stand out so much in my memory is that their goal wasn't just like looks maxing for girls or, trying to look cool or trying to flex, but genuinely were trying to help people, improve their lives for the better. And that for me, it feels like that's not even the goal anymore. Like, that's not the objective anymore. Instead, just blast steroids and, become shallow. And for me, it's such a change. I feel like there's so much negativity and self-improvement now. It's podcasts, and it's, red pill versus blue pill. Everything's become so complicated and labeled now. If there's ever going to be a return to people who were like IceColdJT, who were just a positive force for the world, encouraging young men to better themselves. And I miss that. I miss that era. And since it's 2026, and for years I've looked up to people like IceColdJT, I've decided that I'm going to document my own self-improvement journey. Now, I've already come quite a ways since high school, but, for me, I've come to realize that if you see a problem and there's no one around to try and combat it, then why don't you try and be the solution? Do not just remain a consumer, but to take their lessons to heart and then expand upon them. To take what you've learned, apply it to yourself, and then go out into the world and teach other people the same thing and bring your own unique experiences, own unique perspective into it. And so that's exactly what I am going to do. Throughout 2026, I am going to make this channel my own self-improvement channel. And between my lessons that I've learned and the experiences I'm going to build, we're going to go on this journey together and document it. And we're going to see how far we can go. And I want you to accompany me on that journey. So are you ready?